This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map Fire Island for some regular old 1v1 action in the top right-hand corner as the Cyan allies. This is Happy, aka Mokaji, however you pronounce his smurf. In the bottom left-hand corner is the Yellow Soviets. This is Dimon. It is very weird for those of you who have been or who are watching this contemporarily as it comes out. There have been, fast airfield, a little aggressive and a little engineer hunty. Now, beautifully read by Dimon. As you can see, he didn't actually produce the engineer. His bear was far enough ahead that he was able to see, oh, it's fast airfield, my opponent doesn't have a barracks. They're going to go engineer hunting, and he delayed his engineer, perfectly predicting that exact potential. And the result is, flak cannon is down, so he's got his safety net. Second reactor coming up after his two refineries, so he's not going straight into super reactor. He's, of course, going to want to get a war factory and a couple of bullfrogs out. That being said, those of you who are watching this contemporarily as it comes out, a lot of series, a lot of team games recently. It's been a while, oddly enough, since I just cast a regular 1v1. This isn't a best of 7, this is just a replay that someone uploaded to Game Replays, and that's the whole deal, which is kind of weird. Power plant way out on the water by Happy. And it goes Naval Yard, so a couple of Riptides we can expect to see out of there. And of course the pack-up of the MCV heading directly to the 3rd and 4th refinery location. But same kind of deal coming out for Dimon. Important to note, no super reactor. So of course, it's going to be a little bit delayed. Now we do have 2 Vindicators on the hunt. If they get lucky, they might snap up the Bullfrog that has the engineer in it, which would be the most cost-effective move for Happy. But of course, Happy is going to be seen, that's a weird spot for an MCV to be. That is not your typical location of an MCV taking a 3rd expansion or anything like that. And these MCVs are actually going to be not passing as ships in the night, but instead kind of crashing directly into each other. MCV goes down, and looks like we've got ourselves something, and he's going directly for the engineer cap. So yeah, it was going to be a turret push coming out for Happy, but no, it's going to have to pack it back up, and this engineer is going to have to get on out of there. Terror drone here to keep things locked down, and very nicely done to kill the engineer, but the Terror drone did get killed, and then a second one replaced it almost immediately. So, unfortunately for Happy, he's still got a little bit of trouble because of this Terror drone. And this MCV is desperately trying to stop Dimon's MCV from being able to escape. But also, Dimon desperately wants to get the infect on his opponent's MCV, so you can see he's crushing the Riptides just like that, and he's maybe going to try and make a run for it. There is another MCV here. Now, keep in mind the engineer is gone, so the direct threat as well as the flak troopers has been eliminated by Happy. Nothing can really touch this MCV. Dimon is going to have to call it quits and head back home. What a weird opening for an AVS on Fire Island. We are 3-4 minutes into the game, and no one has grabbed the oil derricks for one thing, and there has already been an engineer attempt. Now, the Vindicator should come in and bomb. Okay, good. Bombs the Terror drone. Happy does not let the Terror drone get an effect that early on, as I guess that would be probably lights out for this match. Another engineer now here, but a sickle as well. And the engineer, is he going to be able to pop inside of that Bullfrog? The answer is no for the current moment, but another Riptide does get crushed by Dimon. These two guys using their MCVs almost as battering rams. As, well, once again, the Terror drone gets the infect. Actually, I thought the Vindicator was going to get the kill before he got the infect, but now things are really looking dire for Happy. He can get the repairs at his naval yard, and at the same time, the MCV of Dimon is taking a lot of damage. He never did get that super reactor. He never did get hammer tanks up and running. He's actually going to be going for the cap on the oil derrick because this Terror drone is almost certainly going to be getting the kill. It actually is going to be a little bit narrow. There's another Terror drone on the south side going to be going for a potential lockdown, and he may just barely be able to get it. Vindicator comes in and gets killed by the Bullfrogs. The MCV of Dimon is still alive, but barely so, and it may end up going down here as the MCV does get the repairs on the airfield, not actually needing to go all the way to the naval yard up further north. The Riptides continuing to back away. They get the kill on the MCV, and Dimon now in a dire position, in a dangerous situation, as the MCV getting free repairs for Happy, and the Riptides will be able to deal with the couple remaining Sickles and Terror Drones, and of course the Bullfrogs pose no real threat. But one Vindicator did go down, or maybe both of the Vindicators ended up going down, so it's really just down to these Riptides, both of these guys, with a weird game starting and now continuing on. Dimon is not giving up, even though he's lost his MCV. He's going to have a heck of a time coming back with no Tier 2, especially since Happy has maintained control of his MCV, and, well, Riptides and Vindicators can have their way. We're going to go directly into Flak Troopers. One of them does get nailed pretty quickly and shut down. The rest of these guys don't have those free repairs, of course, but the Terror Drone helping out with these Sickles, and one more Vindicator goes down as it gets the kill on a Terror Drone. A second Terror Drone is here to keep locking down these Riptides. And the nice thing is the Riptides have been able to, the nice thing for Dimon is he has actually been able to clean up a couple of the Riptides just because they've been forced to focus fire down the Flak Troopers, which has actually given the Sickles enough time to overwhelm the Riptide numbers. MCV up to almost half health, hanging out next to that airfield, and you can try and push in. I don't know how much damage Dimon will actually be able to get done. When you talk about free repairs, when you talk about the ability to drop a barracks, well, actually, he might be completely strapped for cash, so it might be 4 Riptides, and it's just going to come down to the micro. An Engineer packed along with this makes it a little bit more complicated, but Cryo Shot fixes. Oh my gosh, that Engineer almost got the cap of that airfield. Almost an unbelievable move there for Dimon. Cryo Shot helping to fix things on the Allied side. But again, with the repairs here, Terror Drones aren't going to be able to get any successful infects. Great control here by Dimon, getting as much usage out of that Sickle as he possibly can. He's going to be circling around, but a turret did get dropped down, so the multi-gunner turret finally made its appearance. I don't know, 8 minutes into this game or whatever we are. The multi-gunner turret that Happy was hoping to build minutes and minutes and minutes ago is now making its first appearance in his main base. Is this a no? It doesn't look like an MCV on the way for Dimon. Just more Sickles, Bullfrogs, and Terror Drones coming on out. 5, 6 Riptides here for Happy. And a Vindicator as well. And again, even if the Vindicators end up going down, well, another Engineer is going to be able to cap this oil derrick. So a little bit more income, a little bit more cash. But if the Vindicators are able to get kills, they do, or even make successful bombing runs, they do a huge amount of damage against this Tier 1 lightly armored Soviet vehicle army. They killed most of this stuff really quickly. So even though the Vindicators may end up going down, they can still do huge amounts of damage to allow the Riptides to finish off the rest of the forces. And maybe even catching out, well, no, the weakened Bullfrog is at the front of the pack, so it is safe for now. Riptides could also go for a bombing run on the oil derrick just to allow the Vindicators rather, could go for a bombing run. And here they come in, the big jump mains that most of them do miss. But Bullfrogs, looks like they get maybe no kills on those Vindicators. Sickles surrounding and destroying these Riptides. That engagement did not go how Happy wanted. His Riptides ended up just getting separated from each other and not being able to gang down any of these Sickles. And as a result, well, Dimon has actually reigned supreme in that engagement, but it's now 4 Vindicators, which if they're able to have some successful bombing runs on these Sickles, Happy may be able to swing things back into his favor, but Dimon is replenishing his Bullfrog numbers, and of course having that extra oil derrick doesn't hurt. Well, a little bit of a Cryo Shot happening. Ore Collector does stop. He tries to send it back. He won't quite get it, so that's very unfortunate. He does get a Terror Drone out of the mix, though, so he does manage to get a little bit of value. Multi-gunner turret was sold off and rebuilt. Kills a Terror Drone very quickly there. And another Flak Trooper here just to try and even things up. And 2 Flak Troopers actually going to be adding their DPS to this army, and that may be enough to swing things into the favor. Oh my gosh, Happy actually sells off the airfield, I assume, to get out another turret or to try and get out another, well, it's not a Riptide, it's going to be a turret and a barracks actually going to be coming in. And I guess the Vindicators, they've dropped their bombs already, so this is it for Happy. This is most of his army, is just this MCV, even forced to sell off that barracks. The Terror Drone gets the infect, and that is going to be GG, I assume, for Happy. Ooh, even the Peacekeeper dies. So Happy has a couple of Vindicators, and he's got his Naval Yard, but with losing all of those Riptides, does he actually... Oh, actually, well, Dimon's down on Harvesters, so he's got the Oil Derrick and 1 Harvester, but the 2nd Refinery actually had to get sold off. And okay, yeah, Happy has been defeated. There's the GG, most likely just a little bit of chatting going on at the end of the game. I was like, how is Happy going to be able to do this? But what a bizarre, fast and furious Fire Island AVS. Some really great control by Dimon for sure, and by Happy as well. But just some slightly better moments for Dimon, like just being able to avoid as many Vindicator bombing runs as he was able to, allowed his Tier 1 army to actually survive a little bit longer, and just barely able to scrape out a win against Happy. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this very unorthodox AVS. That will do it for this game, and this is Sybert, signing out.